afternoon, everybody. Welcome once again this afternoon, coming from the commentary position here in the Baz's box. Baz Leffler, he'll bring you the game today. He's going to stream it live to you, and then through the week you can see the edited version on YouTube. Baz is ably assisted by his assistant Tammy in the back of the box, and Tammy's being over just doing some videography on the openings of the new dressing rooms. And Basil, he'll edit that through the week, and you'll be able to view that. That'll pop up on our Facebook page, I believe, the Gammang Grong Grong Madong Lions. It's an absolute contrast of conditions last week where the Lions travelled to Manga Player, a wet, heavy track on a cold, miserable day, and today couldn't be any further away. The weather is sublime, the ground is pristine. Good afternoon to Andrew Corbett. That's all I need to say about the ground and the weather today. Andrew's been a little bit under the weather, so we'll just have to cut him a little bit of slack today as he sips on the water to keep his voice going.
Thanks very much, Guy. It's great to be here, and it's amazing that this is our last home and away game for the season. It's flown so quickly, but it's great to be here on a day like today and to witness a crowd that we've got here today and to see the opening of our new facilities. So today, the clash between the top of the table leaders, Gammang Grong Grong Madong, up against Turvey Park Bulldogs, who sit fourth on the ladder. And the Bulldogs have come here today with 6 inclusions into their side, looking to gain a scalp of a team that sits above them on the ladder. So they're primed to challenge the Lions here today, who have had to make 2 changes from their last victory last week against the Mangapla Goannas. And out of the side is Brad Matters, who's unavailable, and Jack Powell, who's ill. So into the side is Captain Coach Sam Martin, and for his first game today, debut is Braith Gain. So congratulations to Braith. He's been leading the goal kicking in the under-17s, and he's been rewarded today with his first game of senior football. And some of our members, fraternity that are here today from the premiership teams of 65 thirds and the reserve grade of 75. Well, Braith Gain is a great-grandson of John Q. So it's great to see Braith out there today plying his wares on the main stage.
Yes, it's absolutely hard to believe, Andrew, the slog that the players had to go through at Mango last week. The game didn't reach any spectacular heights as it couldn't under those conditions, but a tribute to the players that put in all day. Not a comprehensive win to the Lions, but that's just the day it was, a slog. But it'll be totally different today. We should see skills on display, should be set up. These sides more than likely could clash again before the year's out as we race towards those finals. Andrew mentioned, so the last home game here at the Den, and then 2 more rounds, and then we're into those finals. The footy seasons, they seem to get faster and faster, Andrew. Especially
at our age, Guy. They seem to travel so quick.
Everything gets faster and faster except getting out of bed, I reckon. But anyway, that's as an old bloke once said, you only got to do it once, so get it over with early. I'd missed the toss. What do we got?
Well, the Lions are kicking to the road end, and the Bulldogs will be kicking to the dam end.
There is a slight breeze from the south-southwest. It's negligible, really. Good coaches tell you, well, you don't worry about the wind, you just get into it. But everything is set here. We've just had that fantastic opening of the new facilities here. The $1.7 million grant that was awarded to the club 18 months ago. New lights, new change rooms, facilities for the netball, junior football and AFLW girls in the summertime. Andrew, they're about to throw it up. Are you ready?
Umpire Ryan Deeney holds the ball aloft. In the ruck for the Lions is Dan Foley. And Riley Flint for the Bulldogs as Dan Foley wins the tap down. And first to the ball is Wiedemann for the Bulldogs. Ball's in dispute there. Wiedemann picks it up. A hand pass is spoiled, and the umpire has called for a boil up for first stoppage of the game. Foley and Flint in the ruck. Flint wins the possession there. A hold in the ruck. And he'll get the first kick of the game. Hand passes to Wiedemann. He chips one short. Ford and finds Bevan at half forward. Kicks one forward looking for young Glanville. He slips over. Pressure there from Nate Hamlin. He gets his hand pass away. Gathered by Matt Hamlin. Scoops it up. A hand pass to Tom Anderson. Breaks a tackle. Gets a hand pass out to Nate Hamlin. Kicks this one forward for the Lions. Looking for Sid White, but Tim Doyle there for the Bulldogs. Takes a mark right in front of the commentary box. Chips one across back to captain coach Dylan Morton. First season at the Bulldogs. Looks for McRae inside. He plays on quickly, goes wide for Cunningham. He marks on that far half-back flank. Brother of Harry Cunningham that plays for the Swans. His kick is spoiled there by Sam Martin. Ball's in dispute there. Coming through is Jackson Connolly. Picked up by Matt Hamlin. Hand passes to Tom Anderson. Sends one forward high. Looking for Sid White in the goal square. Ball evades him and Doyle. It's on the ground there. Race for the ball here by McRae. He overruns it. Gathered by Bernulis. Does a check side to the goal square. And it's marked by Doyle right in the last line of defence. He chips one short. Finds Cunningham at centre half back. He plays on, but his skills are errant there. He looking for Lewington. His kick finds Margocius on that far half back flank. He looks to kick down the line here. There's nothing on offer. Ball's kicked high, looking for Flint. He marks in front of Dan Foley, in front of the scoreboard. Moved across from Wagga Tigers. He chips one up forward. Contest there from Seb Hamlin on Higgins. The ball's gone over the back and it's out over the sideline, Guy.
So that'll be the first throw in for the game out there in that area of part of the ground. We've got the sponsors, the Gamoon Sports Club. The Lions will be up there tonight, win, lose or draw. And obviously the Nationals for Riverina, Michael McCormack.
Foley with front position there. Taps the ball down. Coming through is obscure. There could be Burhop, but he's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire called for a ball up. It's Aaron Proctor on that occasion.
No score here at the Den with 3 minutes played.
Dan Foley taps that forward, but it's grabbed by Fellows. Chips one short, looking for forward. It falls at his feet. Scramble there as the ball goes over the sideline. It's another throw in. Will Ford returned to the Bulldogs after a stint at Belconnen this year. Played the previous year at the Bulldogs. Came up from Geelong, so he'll be a focal point up forward there for the Bulldogs today. The ball thrown in. Foley front position, tries to grab it out of the ruck. It's on the ground. Quick hand pass there by Higgins. Ball's a scramble there. Gathered by Foley. Hand pass out the back to Seb Hamlin. The ball's on the ground there. No one can gather it in. It's a fumbling occasion there, and the ball's attempted to be cleared by Matt Hamlin. He's been over the sideline. Another throw in, Guy.
We'll have a throw in there in front of the Harris Rural Contracting. Sean and the boys very busy before that rain last week, spreading the urea on those crops.
Foley grabs it out of the ruck and he's wrapped up straight away, and it's another ball up. A real tight contest so far.
Now that's what you'd expect from the top of the top teams clash. No one giving an inch.
Foley taps that onto Jackson Connolly. Gets a clearing kick out of defence, but sitting under this is Morton. He can't mark. Coming through is Bernulis. It's tapped on there to Jake Fairman. He gathers. Ball spills free. Gathered by Turvey Park. They send this one forward. No one at home. Race for the ball here by Tom Quinn. He gathers us at his feet. Gets a pinpoint pass out to Nate Hamlin in front of the Turvey Park box. He plays on quickly. He's got Bernulis all alone on the wing. A quick hand pass on to Burhop. He can run down the sideline, gets his kick forward, puts it out in front of Jack McKegg. He gathers, dodges around McKay, sends one forward, looking for Tom Anderson in the centre of the ground, and he'll have the first shot on goal for the Lions. He's about 30 metres out, straight in front.
Set up nicely there, coming out of the back line. Importantly, two of the best last week at Mango. Zach Burhop, Tom Quinn, combining there to bring it round the wing, just in front of the broadcast here. Took it across to the pass to the was right on song to Tom Anderson, lines it up, brings it in, fades away, umpire taps his shoulder, one behind, southern end of the ground, Waterview Street end.
Cunningham to bring it back in for the Bulldogs. Looks to go short, finds Morton in the pocket. Lions zoning here, making it difficult for the Bulldogs to clear it out of defence. He dodges around Butterfield. Morton kicks long out of defence. Under this is Josh Walsh. It goes over his head. Race for the ball here by Matt Hamlin. He gathers a hand pass to Sam Martin. Chips one forward and finds Jackson Conley. Jackson sends this one forward looking for Bernulis on a lead. Ball spills free. Code off the ground by Aaron Proctor. Picked up by Margocious. The Bulldogs clear out of defence. It's a high tackle downfield kick there to... The Bulldogs coming through is Wiedemann. On to Fellows. They send one forward now, looking for forward. He's got front position. And he's spoiled as he marks. And he'll get the free kick there right in front of goal.
Yeah, you can't interfere with the player from the front on contact. I was butting in on there on Andrew because our debutant, Braith Gain, has run onto the ground. So he'll be itching to get on into the play, but he'll have to wait till this... Turvey will more than likely convert this into a major at the northern end of the ground, which he does do. So we'll wait till the ball gets back to the centre. So the Bulldogs are on the board with their first major of the afternoon. So it's the Lions, one behind, the Bulldogs, one straight goal. Nearly 7 minutes gone.
So goal to Will Ford, the Bulldogs spearhead.
Perfect day for goal kicking, Andrew. No excuses whatever. Umpires bring the ball back to the centre.
Josh Ashcroft has come into the ruck for the Turvey Park Bulldogs. One of their inclusions for this week's game, up against Dan Foley in the ruck. Umpire Brooks throws it up. Foley wins the tap down into the path of Jake Fairman. He overruns the ball, gathered by Fellows, kicks one forward, looking for Hunter Higgins. The ball lands at his feet. He's trapped over the top of the ball there. Good tackle by Ganmain there, Seb Hamlin. And umpire Brooks will ball it up. Foley taps that down. Good tackle there by Matty Hamlin. Hand pass back to Ashcroft. Breaks the tackle of Dan Foley. Sends this forward looking for Lloyd. Flying high was Tom Quinn. And it's a slinging tackle there. Play on, says the umpire, and it's carries through for a behind.
Lions crowd not happy with that. They wanted the sling tackle, Andrew.
Certainly was that motion guy, but umpire Deduni called play on. As the Lions clear out of defence, and the ball is marked there by Aaron Proctor across half back. He chips one short and finds Burhop. Kicks one wide, low, looking for Foley. Ball's punched clear and it's out over the sideline.
So we'll have a throw in right at the foot of the scoreboard. We got top sponsors out there. Of course, the number one, Logan and Hitchens. Regal Signs from Coolerman. Of course, Howard, now the principal at Logan and Hitchens, put that grant together for the club rooms that's just been opened. Absolutely fantastic. That's all you need to say about that. Fantastic.
Bernulis gets that one out of the ruck and gets a kick away. Kick forward by Tom Quinn, looking for Dan Foley, but well judged by Dylan Morton in defence. Takes the mark, kicks one wide and finds young Walter. He kicks forward, looking for Lewington. He marks on that wing, kicks that upfield, finds Ashcroft. Front of the scoreboard, chips one high, looking for Smith. And he's marked, Wiedemann it is, the captain of the team. He's marked there about 55 metres from goal.
Plenty of talk in the Bulldog players on the field, Andrew. You can hear it from here.
He's forced to go backwards and finds Emery in the centre of the ground. He kicks this low and looking for Wiedemann there. The ball's on the ground there. Smith dives in on top of it. It comes out the back to Wiedemann. A snap around there by Smith. He can't get purchase on it. Coming through is Jenkins. The ball's on the ground there and the umpire will call for a ball up.
Ball up 35, 40 metres out from the northern goal, dead in front.
Ashcroft and Bernulis in the ruck. Bernulis taps this one down. Gathered by Fairman. Comes back to Sam Martin. Kicks this one high into the centre of the ground. Through the hands of Morton. Gathered by Dan Foley gets one on to Brafe Gain. He takes one tackle, plays on, keeps it in front of him, gathers it in. He's tackled without possession, but play on, says the umpire. Ball goes forward there, gathered again by Brain. It's going through his legs, picked up by Cunningham. Fellows gathers, he was cleaner. Comes out to McRae, comes wide looking for Bevan. He's got it on the wing there, kicks one forward, but it's on the ground and out in front of Jenkins. And the sideline is too quick, and it's over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Throw in there, we got Cummins, Hendricks, Ganmain, Coolerman all around the riverina, and Jason Hamlin, Regional Hydraulics. He'll get you out of those hydraulic problems.
Ball thrown in. Benulis taps that one down, looking for Fairman. Gathered by Fellows. He taps it forward, looking for Emery, but he's... There's been a free kick awarded to Hunter Higgins. He's got the ball in the centre of the ground. Tips one short, looking for Mazzocchi. Grandson of Dennis Crozier goes inside, and Turvey's kicks at the moment are just falling short. It's a turnover here, but it's regathered again by Mazzocchi. He can't pick it up. The ball's in the centre of the ground there. Coming through is Fairman. Takes possession. He's hand past his errant. Over the top of Brafe Gain. Coming through to meet it is Harry Glanville, and the umpire's found a free kick here, and it'll go back to the centre of the ground there. It'll go to Turvey Park to Lewington. Coming back from that knee injury he received early in the year, and the umpire calls him to come back, take his kick once again. He goes forward and finds Cunningham on the wing, plays on quickly, finds Fellows at centre half forward. Turvey quite prepared to chip short, don't want to kick long and turn it over. Lions are back in defence with numbers. Chips one into the hole there, looking for forward, but it's a good mark by Benulis. Over the top. Kicks one low, looking for Nate Hamlin, but coming through an Aaron Proctor. Breaks one tackle, hand pass on to Nate Hamlin. He's wrapped up in a tackle and caught the ball. Umpire awards a free kick there to Emery. He's got the ball right in the centre of the ground. Kicks it low. Looking for his teammate, but gathered by Sid White. He kicks one forward, and it's all Tim Doyle here, but the bounce almost favours Brafe Gain, but regathered by Doyle, goes forward, finds Mazzocchi, chips another one over the top, finds Fellows, who's racking up possessions at the moment, chips forward, looking for Doyle on that far side, spoiled by Sam Martin. Coming through is Tom Quinn, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Ball's on the ground there. Coming through solidly is Matt Hamlin. The ball's kicked high, looking for forward. Benulis sits under this and takes a good mark in front of forward in the last line of defence. Goes into the centre of the ground where there's space there. Tom Quinn's taken the mark, and off him is Tom Quinn. He can kick up into the centre of the ground looking for Jesse Lander, but it's well picked up there by Thomas. He's taken a mark in the centre of the ground. He'll chip one short, finds Fellows. Chip another one short again and finds Mazzocchi. Turvey just content to keep possession. He can go wide here. He's got McRae who kicks forward, but his kick has gone out on the full, and it'll be a kick to the Lions. Tom Benulis will take it in the far pocket.
So Tom Benulis will take this kick in, dead in front of the Ganmain Sports Club sign. Also down there, we've got Elders Wagga and John Banton Son. Great sponsors. We welcome their sponsorship.
Ball kicked out by Benulis. Finds Josh Walsh in front of the scoreboard. Kicks long and low, but in front position is Lewington. A lot of kicks so far today are falling short, not hitting their targets. A bit of pressure on early. So Lewington goes wide. Finds it. Emery. I think it is. No, it's not Emery. It looks like McRae. He chips short, finds Higgins. He's marked on the wing. The Bulldogs racking up possessions here.
Yeah, the Lions are flat out covering this chipping game, Andrew. The only trouble for the Bulldogs, they're not converting it.
No, they're having trouble penetrating centre half forward as they decide to switch now. Doyle comes across the centre of the ground there. Spoiled by Brafe Gain. He gathers it, gets a hand pass back to Jack Sussay. Coming through is Jenkins, but the ball's overturned there. Gathered by Jesse Lander onto Matt Hamlin. Kicks one forward looking for Jack McKegg. Sun's in his eyes. That coming through is Doyle, and he controls the ball. And it just drifts over the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in.
Umpire Brock Harris there is right on top of that one.
Emery and Foley in the ruck. Emery with front position. Foley uses his body and forces him under the ball, gathered by Matt Hamlin. His kick goes forward. It just clears Morton, but he regathers, gets a hand pass wide to Glanville. He can play on, takes a bounce, kicks down that far wing, goes short, finds Stapleton. Goes wide again. Finds Mazzocchi. Comes back inside. Finds Jenkins. Chips another one short. Finds Lewington. Kicks another one forward and finds Wiedemann. About 4 or 5 kicks in a row there, gaining 20 metres. And Wiedemann sends this one forward now. Coming out to meet it as forward. But in front is Jack Sussay. The ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Bernulis. Tries to get his hand pass away. He's wrapped up in a tackle and umpire's going to ping him for caught for the ball.
Umpire deemed he, dragged it in or just didn't move it along quick enough?
Well, he attempted the hand pass and the hand pass was smothered and the ball bounced back into his possession and then he was pounced on by 2 Turvey Park defenders. And young Ash Walter comes up with the free kick.
So he'll kick just inside the 50. Not quite dead centre, just a little bit left of centre. Good looking drop, punt. Goal umpire doesn't move, stand back and watches it go straight over his head. Goal to the Bulldogs, northern end of the ground.
Lions need to answer.
Lions 1 single solitary behind. The Bulldogs 2-1-13 with 17 minutes gone. Andrew, the only thing that resembles last week is the scoring.
Exactly, Guy, yep. No, it's a very...
But there's time for that to change. There's the Lions a little bit rattled by this Turvey short game, which they've only put 2 goals on the board.
Yes, they're controlling play, Turvey, as the ball's thrown up. Dan Foley gathers this one out of the ruck. Kicks one forward, looking for Bernulis, who comes out strongly and takes a good mark. In front of Thomas.
He'll be very keen to slot this one to make amends for that, giving away that free kick at the other end of the ground. He'll kick from 35. Just a little bit off centre. No problem at all with angle. Slight breeze. Won't worry Tom Bernulis. It's all about accuracy. As we watch him in. Lovely run up. Right foot. Drop punt, plenty of height, might fade away with the breeze. Umpire taps his shoulder, one behind to the Lions. Southern end of the ground.
Lions unable to get that first goal. Dylan Morton takes the kick in, chips one wide, finds Cunningham in the pocket. Lions will be trying to wrestle back possession here in their forward half. Runs around McKeag, plays on, kicks this one long, out of defence. Sitting under this is Josh Walsh, flies high, almost takes the mark. The ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Dan Foley. Pressure on the Turvey opponent, and the ball's been marked by Matt Hamlin. He comes into the centre of the ground, finds Lucas Hattie. He can switch to Zach Burhop, who's marked on the wing. He can play on here. Sends this one low and forward, looking for Manulis, and it's a good pass, but he just can't hold on to that one. And the ball has gone over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in.
The Lions have picked up a new sponsor down there through the week on one of the fence signs. Gibbo's Bulk Haulage there from Coolaman. Welcome aboard, Gibbo.
Bernulis and Jenkins in the ruck. Bernulis tries to grab this out of the ruck. He's tackled, gets his hand pass to Tom Anderson. He tries to get his kick away, but he's caught the ball. The umpire will award a free kick to Margocious. He goes wide, finds Doyle, chips another one wider and finds McRae. He can play on here and passes one over the top to Lewington. Turvey run it out of defence. A kick to Mazzocchi, spoiled there by Burhop. He gathers, kicks inside to Tom Quinn. Comes into the centre of the ground to Tom Anderson. The Lions have got a loose player on the wing, but he elects to go back to the the near side wing and finds Jackson Connolly. He sends one forward looking for Jack McKeag, front position. Ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Fairman, gathered by Turvey. Good strong tackle, and the umpires awarded a free kick to Jake Fairman. Good tackle on Mazzocchi. He hand passes on to Sam Martin. Gets one to Jack McKeag. Sends this one forward looking for Benulis, but it's marked by Jenkins in front. At the better positioning. Lions' entry is not that great as Cunningham takes a contested mark.
Bulldogs are covering the Lions' name players, Andrew, this point in the game. They're close checking. And the quarter's over just like that. And possibly, without knowing all the stats for the first time this year, possibly, and someone might prove me wrong, the Lions are goalless in the first quarter.
I think it was a goalless last quarter last week, Guy, for both sides out at Mangapla. But
well, that was understandable. But, but got to give it to the Bulldogs today, Andrew. They've come out, they've covered the Lions, they've been on top in the back line. The Lions have been under pressure. They've struggled to come up against that short chipping side of the Bulldogs. But fortunately, fortunately for the Lions, the Bulldogs have only two majors on the board. So they might have had some wasted opportunities there. But anyway, we expected a good clash, and that's what we're getting.
Yes, now the Lions will have to work now how they can wrestle back possession so that they can get a score on the board.
There's no particular reason for it, but that might be the scoring end of the ground. We'll see how that goes. So the commentators, seeing Andrew's coming off a flu recovery, will give his voice a rest, and we'll look forward to bringing you the second quarter shortly.
Amazing service and carefully sourced homewares and furniture. Fisher and Farmer.
Coolaman Butchery, a great place to meet up. Yummy, yum, yum.
The instructions have been given. The whiteboard positions have been changed. And we're about to bring you the second quarter here now as we wait for the stragglers to leave the ground. Andrew, great to see the players here from the 1965 third grade and the 1975 premiership. Those guys that played in those premierships for the Maroons, they're having a catch-up this weekend.
Yeah, great to see them back up at the sports club last night. Yeah, it's great to see familiar faces back in those days.
They'd be kicking more goals than these blokes out here at the moment.
Yeah, they'd have a good score on the board, although I think the reserve grade grand final was a very low-scoring game with a lot of points kicked. Back to the centre of the ground, the start of the second quarter. Foley and Flint in the ruck. Flint taps that down. Coming through is Anderson as Jackson Connolly gathers the ball. Foley and Flint. Foley taps that down. Gathered by Fellows. Gets a hand pass back. And it's deemed to be a throw. Free kick to Dan Foley, centre of the ground. Got numbers wide, he likes to go forward, but sitting back in the hole there is Morton, but he's found Jack McKeag across centre half forward. Chip one up, looking for Jake Fairman. The ball's on the ground there, gathered by Turvey Park. Hand pass back to Jenkins. On to Emery, gets one forward, looking for Higgins. He gathers it. Hand passes out wide to Margocious. His kick goes forward there. Ball's on the ground there. Staples was wrapped up in a tackle there by Sam Martin, and there'll be a ball up on the half-forward flank of Turvey Park Bulldogs. Flint taps that down. The ball on the ground there. Players diving on top. Coming through is Dan Foley. He's wrapped in a tackle. The umpire called for a ball up. It was going nowhere. Flint taps that down, but it's gathered by Tom Anderson. Gets a left foot kick forward. It rolls towards Jake Taylor. He couldn't take possession, but he's Been caught high there, and he'll take the free kick on that far wing. Looking to set up the Lions in this second term. Kicks one high to the scoreboard side, sitting under some Nulis, just nudges his opponent forward and plays on, gets a hand pass to McKegg, back to Bernulis, sends this one forward. It bounces in front of Tom Anderson. His kick is smothered there, gathered by Doyle, gets a hand pass forward. Looking for Turvey Park teammate there, but Jake Fairman's made a good tackle. And the ball's held up there on the half-forward flank of the Lions.
Good smother there from the Bulldogs player.
They've been desperate so far in this game as McKegg with front position taps that down to his feet, and the ball's held up there, and umpire Ryan Deduni will call for another ball up.
It's all those discipline things that can help to win you a game of football.
McKegg with front position, and he's deemed to be held, and the free kick will go to Jack McKegg.
Jack McKegg. He will
Seem
kick.
to be much in it, but anyway,
No.
the Lions will take it.
Bulldogs player questioning umpire Ryan Dedini, but as we know, the decision will not be reversed. Jack McKegg will kick from 40 out, 45-degree angle, northern end of the ground, and it's away to the right.
Out on the full.
Out on the full even. So it's away to his far right, Andrew.
Morton brings this in field, comes across for goal, finds Cunningham. Runs around Butterfield, gets his kick forward, but it's on the ground. Coming through is Sam Martin. Gathered there by Bernulis, gets his hand pass forward to Nate Hamlin on his left foot. Sends this one forward, looking for Jake Taylor. Coming through is Cunningham. Takes a saving mark in that back pocket.
Ball read by the Bulldogs again.
He's ran around his opponent 2 or 3 times, but he likes to go back and have his kick this time and finds Doyle with a little short pass of 15 metres. And he's marked it on the boundary line. Now he kicks down the line. Sitting under one of this flint. Uses the body well, but can't take the mark. Coming through is Wiedemann. And he's just caught high there by Aaron Proctor. Goes back across the goals to Cunningham. He's marked it centre half back. Plays on quickly. Goes wide. Finds Thomas. Kicks one forward looking for Margocius, who marks it at his toes on that far wing in front of Connolly. Tries to get around Connolly. Forced to kick with his left. But he finds his teammate Walters on that far wing. He marks. He plays on quickly. Chips one forward, looking for forward, but it's gathered by Aaron Proctor. Hand pass forward to Jack Sussay. He has to gather this one in. Goes back the other way to Josh Walsh. Lions under pressure here. Tom Anderson has to reach for that one. His hand passes high to Sam Martin. Gets one back to Dan Foley. Has a good kick across to Aaron Proctor. He marks across at centre half back and go forward, but he's given this one too much air. Almost marked by Ashcroft. Coming through is Tom Quinn. Hand pass to Butterfield onto Jack Sussay. Dodges around McRae. Kicks one forward and finds Burhop. Swings around on his right. He's got Sid White on a strong lead and he juggles a mark. He drops it. Gathers the hand pass onto Butterfield. He smudges one forward into the pocket. Coming out to meet it is Jake Taylor. Jackson Connolly a race for the ball. He can't gather it. It's forced through behind. The Lions' skills are just not on song today.
Comedy of errors.
Coming out of defence with the kick is Cunningham. He finds Morton. Chip one over the top. Good spoil by Fairman on Fellows. He regathers. Hand passes back to Morton. Kicks one short. Finds Mazzocchi. The Bulldogs not prepared to lose possession. He goes wide, finds Wiedemann. No one short, finds McRae. Right in front of the Turvey Park box. Goes back to Wiedemann. Bulldogs racking up possessions. He can go wide now. It's opened up on the fat side and he's found Thomas. He can kick forward looking for Mazzocchi. Tries to mark in front of Sid White. The ball on the ground there. Sid White picks it up, gets a hand pass back to Jackson Connolly. Chips one over the top, looking for Jake Taylor. Goes through his hands. The ball's on the ground. Recovers quickly. Morton's under pressure there. Jake Taylor spills that one out. Comes out by Turvey Park through Margocious, and it's gathered by Emery. Goes wide. Finds Wiedemann on that far wing. Can chip a little short one. Finds Walter. Goes wide again and finds Fellows. Turvey Park maintaining possession. They've got it up just shy of the half-forward flank. Kicks this one long and low, but there's interference there. And it's a 50-metre free kick.
So that'll bring him well within range at the Waterview Street end of the ground. He'll kick from a little bit less than 40 on a 45-degree angle. So that's a costly blue there by the Lions. Andrew, some of the Lions are handling the ball no better than they were last week in the mud at Mangaplayer.
Yeah, a lot of kicks, a lot of handballs not hitting targets.
So they're really going to have to regroup.
To tighten up there in that area. This fellow comes in on his kick. He's 35 metres out. Kick's on its way. It looks good off the boot. It's drifted to the left. It's a behind. Ball kicked in by Burhop. Marked by Seb Hamlin. Plays on quickly. Look for Jackson Connolly. Puts in front of him. Pressure from Walton. Connolly keeps front position. Tries to pick this one up. It's good pressure there by Walton, and it's turned over now. Gathered by Higgins. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The ball spills free. Gathered again by Walton. Hair pass forward. There's a good strong tackle there by Butterfield on Margocious, and the umpire called for a ball up.
Well, if the Bulldogs can work out a way of scoring with all the possession they've had, well, the Lions are in trouble. But they're being saved by inaccuracy a little bit, and
the umpire's called for another ball up.
Perhaps just the pressure of the Lions' back line, which has been good all the year.
Ball's on the ground there, coming through is Jackson Connolly, picked up by Turvey Park. Hand pass spills free, gathered by Connolly, onto Sam Martin. Back to Jake Fairman, kicks forward, it's low in front of Sid White. He tries to gather it in, he's caught there in possession, and the umpire called for a ball up. Butterfield and Ashcroft in the ruck. The ball's on the ground there, comes out to Walter there, goes wide, finds Emery on that wing. Kicks this one forward, looking for forward. He's marked it there, a long way from goal for the spearhead. Goes back inside, and a good spoil there. Closing speed by Jesse Lander. Turnover for the Lions. Hand pass to Tom Quinn, on to Jackson Connolly. Another hand pass forward to Jack Sasse. Kicks around the corner, comes inside looking for Aaron Proctor. It's spoiled there by McRae. Coming through is Morton, gathers it at his toes. A hand pass on to Mazzocchi. Into the centre of the ground to Higgins. Gets one over the top looking for Wiedemann. He's got space to run into it towards goal now. Has a flying shot at goal, and it's through for the Bulldogs. Their third. That opened right up.
That's possibly the best passage of play we've seen from either side for the whole game. And result, Bulldogs goal at the southern end of the ground. You could see it emanating from their half-back line.
Lions have got to find something. Got to dig deep.
The Lions 3 straight behinds. The Bulldogs 3-2-20 with nearly 11 minutes gone in the second term. The Bulldogs have just got mounting possessions. It's unbelievable, really.
Centre of the ground, Ashcroft and Bernoullis. Ashcroft taps that down, gathered by Jenkins. Tries to get a hand pass away there. Smith tries to gather it in. Hand pass forward there to Butterfield, onto Matt Hamlin. He's corralled, comes back on his right, sends this one forward, looking for Lucas Hattie, but cutting it off is Cunningham. He's been very good for the Bulldogs in defence. He goes wide, looking for Ashcroft. Marks at half back. Goes wide again. Finds young Walter on that wing. They've been fleet of foot, the Bulldogs, so far.
They're on the march again too, but he's slowed up a little bit this time. He can't see anything he likes.
Forced to kick down the line. Under this is Walsh and Emery. A hold against Walsh. He'll go to Emery. Runs around Walsh, sends this one high, looking for forward. Under it is Tom Quinn, takes a good mark.
Had a good game at Mango.
Goes wide and long, looking for Walsh. He has to lunge for that one, and it's a high tackle there on young Walter. He'll get possession on that far half-back flank.
So the Bulldogs look to bring it in again inside their attacking 50.
He can play on. Hand passes over to Morton, who's come down from defence. Chips one short, looking for Stapleton, but it's cut off by Jack Sussa. He marks. He elects to switch. But the indecision there by the Lions players just shows...
A thumping spoil that
by
Bulldogs...
by Margocius, and it just shows the...
He had his eyes on it when it left the Lions players' boot, Andrew. He was intent on spoiling that. Well done to that player.
Ball thrown in. Ashcroft in front. He gathers. He's caught in a tackle there by Bernulis as Stapleton tries to get his hand pass away, and it's held up there. It's another throw up. Bernulis and Ashcroft in the ruck. Ashcroft comes through. He can't get his hand pass away. Gathered there by Mazzocchi. The ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Jenkins, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Another ball up.
Lions 3 behinds. The Bulldogs 3-2-20. 13.5 minutes gone. Second term.
Tries to grab that out of the ruck. Kick forward by Burhop. Gathered by... Glanville, he's kicked forward there, numbers there for the Lions. The ball's on the ground, coming through is Higgins, but he's caught in a tackle there by Tom Quinn. And it'll be a ball up, right in the goal square, Turvey Park's end. Bernulis taps that down to Tom Anderson, he's taken high, free kick. Plays on, kicks wide, looking for Nate Hamlin, puts it out in front, bounces... On to Burhop, hand pass is not good, but regathered by Burhop on to Lucas Hattie. Can chip one over the top, looking for Jesse Lander, he marks. Lions have halted there, he has to come back to kick. Sends this one high, looking for Jack McKegg. He's got the jump, the ball's over the back, gathered by Jake Taylor. And he's wrapped up in a tackle.
So ball up now, inside the 50. Lions attacking end of the ground, 40 out from their goal.
Dan Foley in front and Emery. Ball's on the ground, coming through there is Jesse Lander. He can't pick it up, gathered by Fellows, clearing kick out of defence. Race for the ball here by Lucas and Walter. Walter first to the ball, he shovels one back to Mazzocchi, breaks around one tackle, kicks one forward looking for Stapleton. Nate Hamlin has back position. Matt Hamlin has... Nate it is, but it's a free kick to Stapleton there, holding. And the umpire's called another free kick for infringement on the mark against Burhop, and Dedini's marched Stapleton 50 metres towards goal.
Well within range, because the flags are motionless on the scoreboard, so there's no breeze in his face, whatever, virtually. Perfect day for goal kicking. I've said that a number of times, and it's the lowest scoring game we've seen for ages. I'll have to stop saying it.
Harry Stapleton comes in on his approach.
Can't miss him with those pink boots, Baz.
Distance won't be a problem. Kicks on his way. Goal umpire doesn't move, and that's the Bulldogs' fourth.
Not surprising. The Lions still 3 behinds. The Bulldogs 4-2-26. The quarter slipping away. 16 minutes gone. All credit to the Bulldogs. They came out right from the bounce, the first bounce, attacking the ball. They had plenty of yap in them, and they've backed that yap up on the scoreboard currently.
They've obviously come with a plan, and they're executing it very well. Back to the centre of the ground. Bernulis taps that down into the path of Matt Hamlin. Overrunning the ball is Jake Fairman, but he's gathered it in now. Kicks this one forward. Under it is Morton, but gathered by Jack McKegg. He breaks around one, bound Aaron Proctor. Put under pressure as he kicks that one, and it finds Shannon Butterfield 45 metres out, straight in front.
This will test him, Andrew. But, as I keep saying, conditions are perfect. It's a dry ball. He's not getting any leads, so the players suggest that Butters will back himself here and bring it home. Oh, it's a lovely looking drop punt off the boot. And a very much needed goal to the Lions at the northern end of the ground by Shannon Butterfield. The Lions players get around him. Now, was that the impetus that the Lions need to get a couple more on the board before half-time, Andrew?
Yes, hopefully that's the spark for the Lions' sake.
Early in the year, Baz reckoned I was a little bit one-eyed in my commentary, but today I reckon I've given credit to the Bulldogs and credit they deserve for the score so far. So there you go, Baz. I've taken that on board, being a little bit more less than biased, but to date the Bulldogs have been the better side. There's plenty of time for the Lions. They're going to need more of that.
Back to the centre of the ground, Bernulis and Flint, but it's a free kick to Flint.
Didn't appear to be a lot in it, but
no,
anyway.
It's baffling sometimes, those ruck decisions, as the ball's kicked forward by the Bulldogs there, gathered by Glanville on to Jenkins, and he has a shot at goal, and he's missed to the left. A let-off there for the Lions.
A let-off to say the least, Andrew. Just when I said the Lions would need to put more majors on the board.
Burhop kicks in short and low and finds Jake Fairman at half-back. Sends this one forward for Bernulis, but once again it's gone over his head. Gathered by Bernulis. Gets a hand pass forward to Aaron Proctor. Back to Tom Anderson. The Lions are going the wrong way. Back to Aaron Proctor. Gets his kick forward, put under pressure, but sitting under this is Shannon Butterfield. He marks on the wing for the Lions. Looking to send this one in long and deep, looking for Jack McKegg. Wide is young Gain, but it's over his head and out over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in.
Throw-in there. We've got Choices Flooring and also Beaumont Tiles. So if you're into renovations, just go and see those guys.
Ball thrown in. Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck, but he's immediately tackled by Doyle. Gets his hand pass away, but deemed to be caught with the ball. Doyle's kick.
Yeah, if you grab it out of the ruck, you've got to make sure you've got to be able to hand pass it on. Got to get rid of it quick.
Elex to go back to the goal square, finds Cunningham. Chip one wider again to the far side and finds Morton. Chips another one, but it's on the ground, but it's gathered well by Walton. He's been very good out in the wing there. Gets a hand pass over the top, looking for Jenkins, but it's cut off by Jack McKegg. Gets his hand pass back to Lucas Hattie. Dodges around one. Back to Jesse Lander. Kicks this one high. Sitting under this is Dan Fowler, but good body position by Doyle. He takes the mark. Comes wide to the shed side. Finds McRae. He kicks this one long. It's looking for Glanville. Marks just inside the sideline. A good strong mark. Goes back to McRae. He can switch and go wide to Doyle in the centre of the ground. Go wider again. Looking for Thomas. He gathers the ball. Kicks forward. And marked by Walton.
The quarter's getting away from the Lions. It's 21 minutes gone now on Baz's clock.
As that ball's kicked forward, it's on the ground. A good tackle by Jack McKegg.
Probably been amongst the Lions' best, Andrew.
Bernulis and Flint to go up in the ruck on the far side of the ground. Late in his second term. Flint taps that down to Fellows. Gets a hand pass back to Wiedemann. Gets a hand pass inside to Flint. Over the top then to Emery, but he's caught with the ball. Good tackle by Jesse Lander. And a 50-metre penalty. The ball will not return correctly, and he'll be marched to centre half forward.
So the umpire's not tolerating any little indiscretions today. Fair enough.
Sends this one high, looking for gain in the goal square. The ball's on the ground there. And it's bottled up inches from the goal line.
Reprieve for the Bulldogs as
It's through from behind.
they will be able to regroup and bring it in from fullback.
Ball's kicked in by the Bulldogs. Finds Lewington. He can play on. No one on the mark. Chips wide. Finds Wiedemann. You can come inside looking for Thomas. Spoiled by Walsh. Josh gathered by Burhop. He can run through the centre of the ground. Gets his kick forward. He's tackled as he disposes of the ball. And the siren's gone at the end of the second term.
Well, just as we mentioned a few minutes ago, the quarter was slipping away from the Lions. And just when they decided they could get some attacking time, just can't get majors on the board. Andrew, all year we've probably talked about mostly the Lions backline. Well, all credit today to the Bulldogs backline. They've held up really well against the Lions.
Yeah, they've controlled possession and controlled the game from back there, which has set up their forwards. The Lions are, scrambling into their forward line with their kicks. They're not hitting targets. They're under a lot of pressure. They need to find something here at half time. Sam Martin, no doubt, will be working on a plan to counter-attack.
Yes, there's plenty of time. There's half a game of football to go. There's only 17 points in it, which is not a lot in today's term, but uncharacteristically for the Lions, they've been held to 1-4 at half-time by the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs have outplayed them. So the commentators, camera operators and technical assistants will have a break. Andrew will go into the rooms and get some information for us, and we'll be back for the third quarter to see if the Lions can do better.
For all your AG, vet chemicals, fertilizer and bulk fuel, go to Logan and Hitchens.
Ganmain and District Sports Club, a place to celebrate and much, much more.
Ganmain Bakery, and the famous Ganmain pies. If you can bake it, we make it.
Welcome back to the Ganmain Sports Ground. We're in position to bring you the third quarter. The Lions will need to do better to overcome this Bulldogs outfit.
Yes, well, Sam Martin gave the players a big rev up there at half time, and things were positive. They're not that far out of this game. It's only 3 goals, under 3 goals. Start of the third quarter. Dan Foley in the ruck, up against Emery. Won by Wiedemann there. Kick to Fellows, but his kick is off the side of the boot, comes wide. Pressure from Nate Hamlin, gathered by Tom Anderson. Swings around on his white, but smothered by Fellows over the sideline.
That smother there by the Bulldogs player. The Bulldogs bench like that. They gave him a good clap, and why wouldn't you? That's why they're in front. They're doing all the little things.
Emery tries to get out the back of the pack. The ball comes forward there, gathered by Dan Foley. Breaks through the pack, kicks forward there, looking for Matt Hamlin, finds him in the centre of the ground. Kicks long, looking for Manulis. Spoils Sid White, the ball's on the ground there, gathered by Lewington. Back from Morton to Lewington again. He goes wide to Margocius on that far wing. Kicks forward and finds Ashcroft at centre forward. Goes to come inside, finds Cunningham. Sends this one forward, looking for forward. Tempted mark there by Tom Quinn. It's gone over the back of the pack and over the sideline. Be a throw in.
Throw in right out there on that point of the ground. We've got Harris Contracting and the Ganmain Sports Club.
Ball thrown in, grabbed by Dan Foley, gets hand pass to Matt Hamlin. He's tackled, gets his hand pass away. Play on, calls the umpire. Magosha's taken it, a strong tackle by Sid White. Play on, says the umpire. Ball's kicked off the ground forward. Tried to be picked up there by Dan Foley. Jackson Conley gets a hand pass forward, and Seb Hamlin's caught at half back there by Josh Ashcroft. Ball up.
No prior opportunity. Ball up just inside the 50 there at the northern end of the ground.
Ball's gathered there by Jackson Conley. Ball's kicked forward. Clash of players there, but it's marked by Morton at half back. Sends this one in long and low, looking for Ford on a strong lead, and he marks in front of Tom Quinn. 20 metres out from goal.
Bullet-like pass. Tom Quinn couldn't do much about it. His turvy opponent had the drop on him. The pass was just what you want on a strong lead. Low and lean and fast. Right out in front of you. He'll kick from about 30. Just about dead in front. Northern end of the ground. Hardly any breeze, so it's everything in his favour. And the Bulldogs players like it immediately as it left his boot. So result there. Goal of the Bulldogs.
First of the third term.
The Lions are 1-4-10. The Bulldogs are 5-3-33.
Emery in the ruck against Foley. Flint on the boundary line at the moment. Foley comes around, taps that one down in front. Ball rolls forward towards Mazzocchi, breaks one tackle. Kick forward by Wiedemann, and Ashcroft tries to take a one-hander. He's caught with the ball, gets a kick away. Insufficient disposal, and it's a free kick to Josh Walsh. Goes wide, looking for Tom Anderson. He marks in front, in between two Bulldogs opponents. Kicks this one up high and long. Emery sits under this one. He can't take the mark. The ball's on the ground there. Ball thrown up. Tapped down by Dan Foley. Gathered by Wiedemann. Kicks this one forward. Jack Sussay cuts it off. Sends it forward for the Lions. Looking for Jack McKegg. Pressure there by Morton. Spoiled. Coming through is Tom Anderson. Tries to gather this one on. Gathered by Emery. He's tackled by McKegg. Can't get his hand pass away, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Ball's thrown up. Foley taps that down. Ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Aaron Proctor. But the umpire's called for another ball up. It's not going anywhere. Emery grabs that out of the ruck. His kick smothered. Goes into the path of Wiedemann. Kicks this one high. Sitting under to Sam Martin. Matt Hamlin attempts to mark. The ball's on the ground there. Gathered by Jackson Conley. He's tackled. And the umpire will call for a ball up. It's just gone over the sideline.
So we'll have a throw in front of the Brill Agronomy and Research and David Jones Tyres at Bowman, their sponsors. Thank them very much for their sponsorship.
Emery swats this one forward, gathered by Matt Hamlin, gets his hand pass over the top, looking for Sam Martin. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Turvey Park, on to Higgins, then wide to Fellows, gets onto a running Wiedemann. Dodges around Sam Martin, comes back inside, looking for McRae. His kick misses a target, gathered by Burhop, runs it out of defence, finds Tom Anderson, back to Burhop. Chips a little one short, looking for Jack McKegg. Scrambling here from the Bulldogs. It comes on to Jake Fairman. Sends this one looking for Benulis. Uses the body. Can't hold on to the mark. Swings on his right. And he's missed to the right. Bit of quick movement there from the Lions. It stretched the Bulldogs' defence on that occasion.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do, Andrew. Move it quicker. move it quick to try and rattle the Bulldogs a bit.
They need that quick, fast rebounding football as Lewington brings us in, finds Margocious, he marks, comes inside to Emery. Goes wide, looking for McRae. Attempted spoil there by Jackson Conley. He's tackled without possession. The umpire says play on. Gathered by Morton, comes inside to Fellows. He slips over, gets a hand pass to Wiedemann. His hand pass is smothered. Sam Mart gathers on to Matt Hamlin, on to Jackson Conley. He sends this one forward, looking for Jack McKegg. Sitting under as Morton takes a strong mark. Or Emery, is it? It's Morton, the coach. Goes wide. Sun obscures the ball there for McRae, but he gathers, chips one forward, finds Emery. That's Andrew, the ruckman. Comes back to McRae. They can switch if they like. Got numbers behind the ball. Bulldogs are held up here. Kicks one long and low, but it's cut off by Dan Foley in front of the scoreboard. Kicks across to Burhop. He can play on. Dodges around Stapleton, looking for Lucas Hatter. He gathers this in. He's tackled, and the umpires called for a ball up.
Lions are just flat, Andrew. They've gone to ground with the ball a number of times.
Emery taps that one forward. Coming through is Jesse Lander. He gathers, gets a hand pass to Jackson Conley. Gets his kick away quickly, but it's marked by Wiedemann. Can chip forward, looking for Ashcroft. Under this is Walsh, spoiled by Walsh. Coming through is Seb Hamlin. He's tackled. Burhop, that was tackled, and the ball's bundled through from behind. Burhop kicks this in, looking for Matt Hamlin. Pressure there by Higgins. Gets a hand pass on to Tom Quinn. Goes wide, finds Jack Sussay in front of the scoreboard. Kicks this one forward, looking for Braith Gain. He marks at his toes. On the wing. Sends this one long, looking for Jack McKegg. Up high is McRae, hands in the back, but play on, says the umpire. Gathered by Jack McKegg. Tries to kick around the corner. It's smothered by Morton. Picked up by Mazzocchi. He sends this forward. Coming out to meet it as forward. He tries to juggle a mark. Gathered by Ashcroft. Kicks towards goal. It's bouncing towards the goal square, and it's through for a goal. Another one for the Bulldogs.
The key words there, Andrew, were smothered by Morton. That's happened a number of times, and that gave the Bulldogs the impetus. The Lions turned it over there. Bulldogs charged through the centre, attacked the goal. Result, goal at the northern end of the ground for the Bulldogs. A little bit different to the first quarter. They were doing plenty of attacking around the ground, but a short game. But that time they cut the Lions up through the centre with a couple of long kicks.
Yeah, they've owned the centre of the ground today, the Bulldogs coming through there. Ball's thrown up, tapped down by Foley into the path of Fellows. His hand pass is cut off by Nate Hamlin. Swings around on his left, sends this forward, looking for Jack McKegg, almost takes the mark. Hand pass back to Matt Hamlin. Chips one over the top, looking for Lucas Hattie. He marks about 60 metres from goal. Bulldogs flood numbers back. This is kicked high, looking for Bernulis. McRae in front. Bernulis comes through. He's held when not in possession, and he'll have a free kick 30 metres out from goal, straight in front.
Well, to state the obvious, the Lions have got to start getting them on the board, and it's got to start now, because the time is working in favour of the Bulldogs. The Lions are 1-5-11. The Bulldogs are 6-4-40 with 11 minutes gone. Third term. Bernulis comes in on that trusty right foot drop punt. Yeah, this one's a major.
Much needed goal for the Lions.
Will that spark? Is that enough to spark them? Surely. The line's 2-5-17. The Bulldogs 6-4-40. We saw St Kilda beat the Melbourne Demons last week in the last quarter. They came from 46 down, but we're a fair way from Melbourne.
Back to the centre of the ground. Foley and Flint in the ruck. Foley taps that forward, gathered by Aaron Proctor. Back to Dan Foley, chips this one forward and finds Jake Taylor, but he spills the mark he should have took. A race for the ball there. Can't pick it up. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Bravegate. Dodges around one. Kicks this one high, but it's going to fall out of bounds on the full.
Again,
Smith brings it inside quickly to Fellows.
Pressure from the Bulldogs.
Goes wider to the centre of the goal square there to Cunningham. He marks. This is where the Bulldogs have controlled the game. He goes wide looking for Smith. Marks in front of the commentary box. Tips one short, but it's too short. Cut off by Sid White. He plays on. Kicks this looking for Bernulis, but he slipped over and it was a 2-on-1. It was marked by Jenkins. Thomas it was. He goes wide and finds Cunningham. Chips a little one over the top, looking for McRae, but it's at his feet. Coming through is Seb Hamlin. It's towed off the ground there. Cunningham forces it over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in.
Throw-in out there, right in front of the Gammane Hotel. Some of the players that have come back to celebrate this 65 and 75 premierships, they're staying down at the hotel.
Ball thrown in. Flint taps that down. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Walter. Gets a hand pass away. Tackle on Smith there. Play on, says the umpire. Coming through. Taylor tries to pick it up. Towed off the ground by Morton. Through the centre of the ground there. Gathered by Jackson. He tries to break one tackle. Gets his kick away. Met by Lucas Haddy, forces one high forward. Jack McKeag front position. He slips over. The ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Tom Anderson as Cunningham gathers. He's played a good game so far. He kicks wide and finds Walton. Him as well. His kick smothered by Lucas Haddy. He gathers. Pressure from Higgins and it's out over the sideline. The far side. Another throw in.
Over there we've got sponsors Coolaman Chaser Bins and Cobber Apparel. Going to need a lot of rain to fill those chaser bins this year, Andrew.
Yes, that's right, Guy. A long way from home as Dan Foley taps that down to Burhop. Gathered by Tom Anson onto Matt Hamley. Hand passes on to Sam Martin. He's wrapped up as he attempts to pick that one up and the umpire will call for a ball up. Foley and Flint in the ruck. Flint with front position. Taps that down looking for Matt Hamlin, I think it is. And he's wrapped up in it. That was Nate Hamlin. He's caught another ball up. Foley and Flint. Foley grabs that out of the ruck. Attempts to kick it forward looking for McKeag. Pressure by Cunningham. Ball's on the ground there. McRae comes through. He gets his hand pass away. Looking for Morton, gathered by Thomas. His kick is smothered. Higgins is wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire is about to blow the whistle, but calls play on. And the umpire will ball it up.
I think is that Tom Bernulis.
Yes, Tom Bernulis there.
Right, he's writhing on the ground there. Might have taken a low blow, I think. He's up and going. No. Crouching.
He's struggling to get to his feet, Tom Bernulis. He had that injury last year in last year's grand final.
The runner's gone out to him. He's a bit ginger on it.
Sort of twisted in that tackle.
Play resumes.
Ball thrown up. Gathered by Wiedemann there. Regathered by Walter. The ball's on the ground there. Nate Hamlin comes through. Tries to pick it up. Matt Hamlin that was on that occasion. Another ball up. Just a stagnant there at the moment. Free kick to Dan Foley. Sends this one high. It's all Turvey Park there. The ball's on the ground there. Grabbed by Lucas Haddy. Dodges around one. Has a flying shot on goal. And It's a good kick by Lucas Hattie because it's a goal.
Another very much needed major to the Lions. The Lions now 3-5-23, Bulldogs 6-4-40. We're approaching 17 minutes gone at the third quarter. Feel as though Lions need the next one this quarter also, Andrew.
My word, they do, Guy.
I better be careful. I'm starting that barrack again, Baz.
Back to the centre of the ground. Foley and Flint in the ruck.
Been here too many years.
Lions with a little bit of momentum late in this third term. Trailed by 16 points. Foley taps that one down. Coming through is Tom Ennis, but it's regathered by Dan Foley. Sends this one forward for the Lions. Front position is Benulis. He can't pick it up. The ball's on the ground there. McKay gets a hair pass back to Cunningham. He juggles it. He doesn't want to pick it up, and the ball's forced through for a behind. It's out of bounds, is it? It'll be a throw-in.
Yes. Yes, throw in right beside the point post at the southern end of the ground, the Waterview Street end.
Ball's thrown up. Benulis in the ruck, tries to grab it out of the ruck. He couldn't hold on to it. The ball's on the ground there. Picked up by Cunningham. He's kicked forward, coming through his Braith gain. He's tackled, gets a hand pass away. Back in towards the centre half forward there, but coming through is Morton. Gathers it well, kicks his forward, looking for Ashcroft. Coming out to meet it is Josh Walsh. He tries to gather this in. Can't pick it up. He's pushed off the ball there by Ashcroft. Grabbed by Emery. Tries to kick this one inside. Looking for Wiedemann. He dodges around one. Sends this forward. Looking for Ashcroft. Going back with the flight is Josh Walsh. Cops one in the buttocks. And a good tackle there by Zach Burhop. But the umpire calls for a ball up.
Held to him, the umpire declared. Fair enough.
Ball thrown up. Dan Foley taps that forward, coming out to meters forward. He spills one, and he's caught the ball there. Good tackle by Zach Burhop. He's tried valiant back there for the Lions today as he kicks across goal, finds Nate Hamlin. He can play on here, takes one bounce. Takes two bounces. Pressure from behind, kicks this one forward. Goes over the back of Braith Gain, coming through is Jake Fairman. He can't pick it up. Ball's held up there on that wing. An umpire will call for a ball up.
20 minutes gone now.
Jack Sussay in the ruck with Emery, but the ball's punched forward there. Gathered by Burhop. He's wrapped up in a tackle and he's thrown over the sideline.
So we'll get a ball in out there. We've got the Regal Signs and Stephen Patterson, both good sponsors and businesses from Coolamont. We thank you very much for your sponsorship.
Foley and Emery in the ruck. Emery wins that tap down to Jenkins. He comes charging through there, gathered by Fairman. And it's another ball held up there on the half-back flank of the Lions. Foley and Emery in the ruck. Emery forces Foley forward, gets a kick forward, but it's going to roll over the sideline and be another throw-in late in this third term.
That area out there has been sponsored by Louis Dreyfus, the grain company with a receival site up at the other side of Coolamont.
Ball's thrown in. Tackled there is Jenkins. He gets a hand pass back over the top to Smith. A running shot on goal. It's going high, but it's through for a behind.
Also out there on that area out near the scoreboard, we've got Nutrien Wagga Wagga. Congratulations to those guys that have been able to hold their lambs and present them for the record money. Well done to you.
Zach Burhop to bring this in for the Lions. He elects to go to the scoreboard side. Kicks this high. Flying high is Mazzocchi there for Turvey Park. The ball's on the ground. It's hand passed over to Margocious. He looks to kick into the centre of the ground. Sitting under this one is Jack Sussay, and his arms are chopped. and he'll take the free kick. He can play on quickly. He switches to the shed side and finds Zach Burhop. Kicks one forward, looking for Jack McKegg. He marks in front of the Lions bench. Send this looking for Dan Foley. It's a neat little kick. He's almost marked. Coming through is Jack McKegg, and he's wrapped up in a tackle. Held up there on the half-back flank of Turvey Park. Dan Foley front position, taps it down to Jake Fairman. He tries to come through and gather that one, but it's over the sideline. Will be a throw in.
And there we got Landmark Nutrien and Landmark Quality Wool.
Ball comes down to Aaron Proctor. Sends this one high to centre half forward. Sitting under his Braithwaite. Coming through is Jesse Lander. He tries to gather that one, and the ball's coming down to Braithwaite. He can chip this one short, looking for Jake Fairman, but spoiled there by McRae. Coming through is Jackson Conley. He slips over. Ball's bouncing around there, and Conley gathers the ball, and wrapped up by McRae. It'll be a ball up there at centre half forward for the Lions.
Not much more time for this quarter for the Lions. They'll need to be quick.
Ruck. Emery taps that one forward, gathered by his brother, Emery, and the ball's held up there. He breaks away though, and the ball kicked into the centre of the ground. Braithwaite gathers the ball there, and held up in the centre of the ground. Umpire throws it up. Benulis in the front position, taps it down to Seb Hamlin. Plays on looking for Matt Hamlin. It's over the top of Cunningham. Regathered by Matt Hamlin. It takes one bounce. He can send this one forward. The Lions chips a little one and finds Shannon Butterfield in the pocket. He'll go back and have a shot for the Lions.
Pretty tight angle, but the distance won't be a problem. It's all about the gap. Shannon Butterfield is a study of concentration as he comes in. He'll kick on the right. Kicks truly, I believe.
It's a great kick.
No, I've gone.
It's a behind. It looked good. But
the goal umpire didn't move. It fooled me a little bit, Andrew.
Anyway, another behind for the Lions.
Behinds won't cut it at this stage.
No, a goal would have brought them closer to the Bulldogs' total. Morton to bring this one in. He's kicking high, looking for Emery. Sitting under this is Walsh. Flying high is Glanville. Smith hand passes one over the top. Back to Wiedemann. Running this out of defence. Goes forward, looking for forward. He gathers it off his toes. Comes inside to Margocius. He spills a mark. Then on to Mazzocchi. Dodges around one. Then to Fellows. On to Margocius. And has a running shot at goal. And he's kicked it. A late one for the Bulldogs. From Margocius. They've got plenty of run from defence.
Well, the Bulldogs are going to show you how to do it. They didn't muck around. They took it down there quickly. They mucked around in the first quarter, even though they won the quarter. They've won every quarter. But since then, they've gone more direct with a bit of length in their kick. So they've outplayed the Lions. The Lions are 3-6-24. The Bulldogs are 7-5-47. There's a discrepancy here between my score and the scoreboard at the ground, but we'll sort that out at... It's only a 1 point discrepancy. We'll sort that out at three-quarter time.
Benulis taps that down. It's on the ground there, gathered by Turvey Park. They kick this one out of the centre of the ground, going forward. A race for the ball here from Josh Walsh. Into that pocket, he tries to gather it in, but it's out over the sideline, and there'll be a throw in. Ball's thrown in there. Benulis in the ruck with Fellows. Gathered by Wiedemann. Coming out to meet it as Burhop. Ball's on the ground there. Fellows tries to pick it up. He's tackled, and umpire's called for a ball up. Benulis in the ruck. He slips over. Ashcroft tries to gather it in. Tackle on Smith there. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up by Ashcroft. Gets a hand pass back looking for Cunningham. He's pressured by Fairman. Gets his hand pass back to Morton. Kicks this one forward to centre forward. In front position is Harry Stableman. Bounces over his head. Picked up by Nulis. He kicks this one wide looking for Sid White. Takes the mark on his chest. He's got Matt Hamlin running for this one, and it's a good mark by Cunningham, by Hamlin in front of Cunningham. As the siren goes to end the third term.
Lions 3-6-24, the Bulldogs 7-5-47. Bulldogs have won every quarter, obviously. And their back line has been on top all day. Lions have struggled getting it into their forward line and struggled to convert. So that's good pressure from the Bulldogs.
One quarter to go. What can the Lions do?
One quarter in what is the last home game for the Lions. So they really need to show something here, dig deep. We'll take a break and we'll look forward to bringing it to you.
Great pub accommodation and icy cold beers. Ganmain Hotel for good quality pub grub.
Ganmain News Agency, open 7 days. Lotto, newspapers, the list keeps going.
So we're back with the last quarter. Last quarter of the last home game for the Lions. And to say they're under the pump is an understatement. The Lions are 3-6-24. The Bulldogs 7-5-47. You might have heard me. I just said to Andrew that the Lions look like they're just waiting for something to happen. But it's not going to happen if they keep waiting. They've got to step up.
They've got to go on attack this quarter. This last quarter, so Dan Foley in the ruck up against Andrew Emery. And up she goes. Foley taps that down to Matt Hamlin. The ball's on the ground, but charging through is Aaron Proctor. He sends this one forward high. Sitting under it is Morton once again. He takes the mark. He's been good back there all day. Chips one short, finds Emery. Cross half back, that's Andrew. Goes wide and finds Harry Stapleton on that far wing. Kicks long, looking for Ashcroft. Spoiled there by Seb Hamlin, coming through is Dan Foley. He gathers that one, he's tackled as he goes to get possession. Ball spills free, coming through is Tom Anderson, gathered by Jack McKegg, kicks this one forward. Coming to meet it is Emery. Kicks this one high. Coming out to meet it is Jack Sussay, takes a good strong mark. He slips over as he attempts to kick it. He goes wide looking for Sam Martin. He marks on his chest, he can play on here. Can send this long looking for Benulis. Back to the goal square to his advantage. He sits under it. Can't hold the mark. The ball's on the ground. Gets a hand pass out to Jake Fairman. The ball's held up there at centre half, at 10 metres out from goal. It's just the Lions' day. Just drop chest marks, miss kicks. As Emery swats that ball, gathered by Shannon Butterfield. He's wrapped up in a tackle in that pocket. Benulis in the ruck. Emery taps it back to Morton. Kicks off one step. Lucas Hattie attempts to mark. The ball spills free and it's over the boundary line.
So the throw in there will be right in front of the Bulldogs selectors box. They're very buoyed by what they're seeing, and why wouldn't they be? Benulis front position, taps that down, looking for Aaron Proctor. He charges through.
Ball spills free, gathered by Margocius, gets a hand pass back to Wiedemann. And he kicks forwards and finds Smith. They have that ability to find a loose target under pressure. He kicks forward and finds Stapleton. Their skills have been on point all day. Stapleton kicks this forward, but sitting under this is Seb Hamlin. He takes a good mark. He's been called to play on. Comes inside, but the kick falls short. Sam Martin's wrapped up in the tackle, and umpire called for a ball up. Benulis in the ruck. Emery flies high, comes down to Aaron Proctor, but gathered by Smith. Kicks this one forward. Coming out to meet it is Ashcroft. Ball bounces down. Stapleton attempts to gather it up. Mazzocchi gets a hand pass forward. Gathered by Nate Hamlin. Gets a hand pass forward to Jake Fairman. He comes back inside. Hand passes one on to Tom Anderson. Gets his kick away. Downfield free kick to Shannon Butterfield. And he'll take that free kick in front of the Turvey Park bench.
Tom Anderson dealt with late. That was what that was for.
He kicks this one forward looking for Foley. Jack McKegg front position, but there's Wiedemann again. He gathers, goes to come inside. Tom Anderson flies high, tries to take a mark. Grabbed by Benulis, gets a hand pass on to Aaron Proctor. Pressure here from Turvey Park. On to Lucas Hattie. He's caught with the ball. And the free kick will go to Luke Fellows there. Good pressure from Turvey Park. He comes inside, finds Lewington being called to play on, not 15. Back to Fellows. Kicks his forward. Tom Anderson spoiled. Coming through there is Wiedemann. Gathered by Glanville. Coming through is Proctor. And he kicks one forward.
Boundary throw in right below the commentary position in front of the awning here on the wing. Umpire Oscar Hattie about to throw it in. Good throw in too.
Emery grabs out of the ruck, looking for Higgins. Coming through is Sam Martin. He gathers off his toes, comes into the arms of Lewington, kicks his forward, bounces over the top of Seb Hamlin. Coming out to meet it is Flint. Coming through is Jack Sussay, and he's wrapped up in a tackle there. He's copped one high, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Benulis and Flint. Flint shoves him off the ball. Comes to Matt Hamlin. He's got to kick around the corner. Under this is Lucas Hattie. Takes a mark. Plays on. He's kicked straight down the throat of Emery, but it's spoiled there by Dan Foley as Jesse Lander kicks his high to the forward line. Sitting under it is Sid White. But it's a good saving mark there by Doyle.
Eyes on it the whole journey.
Dependable defender. He goes wide. Finds Mazzocchi. Chips one over the top and finds Morton. Cross half back. He can switch, comes back to the goal square with Lewington. He's got Fellows all on his own in the opposing half back flank. Chips one low and finds Wiedemann. It bounces in front of him and he's forced, keeps it in play. Plays on, looks into the centre of the ground. Coming to meet it is Seb Hamlin. Comes into the path of Cunningham. Jack McKegg on his toes, but gathered by Fellows. Kicks this forward, looking for Jack Sussay. Under it is Smith. He rebounds, regathers, gets his kick forward into the path of Stapleton. That's gathered by Burhop. He breaks one tackle, runs across the goals.
I think the umpire's thinking that it's out of bounds. I think the field umpire's going to call it out of bounds, Andrew, is he?
Yeah, looks like it. He's calling it back.
So Zach Burhop didn't get away with it on that occasion. Been about the pick of the Lions.
Throw in. Flint and Benulis. Gathered by Nate Hamlin. Kicks this high. Sitting under is Lucas Hattie. Takes the mark in front of young Walters. Plays on quickly. Finds Tom Anderson in the centre of the ground. He's got to break around McRae. Kicks this one forward. Goes over the back of Sid White and Doyle. Race for the ball here. Sid White with front position, gathers it in. Tries to dodge around one, he's on his left, he just kicks his high back into the goal square. Coming back is Fairman, and the ball's over the sideline. It's another throw in. Just those Lions forward entries have been advantageous to kick goals today. Their kicks have been rushed, they've been not to advantage. The ball's thrown in, gathered by Matt Hamlin, gets a hand pass away. Pressure there by the Lions, the ball's on the ground, gathered by Jesse Landis. Swings this back to the goal square, and it's touched on the line by Thomas.
Good effort there by the Bulldogs defender. He's desperate, and why wouldn't he be? They're keen to beat the Lions on their home patch.
Cunningham brings it in quickly, looking for McRae, and it's gone out of bounds. A throw in. Ball's thrown in, Bernulis and Emery in the ruck, gathered by Jesse Landon, onto Tom Anderson, breaks one tackle. Goes back to Nate Hamlin, in the centre of the ground. Runs around his opponent, sends this long low, looking for Sid White. He can't hold the mark, the ball's on the ground there. Coming through is Jake Taylor, gets a good bounce. He's forced over the sideline.
Once again, we'll get the throw in out there in front of the Harris Contracting.
Ball's thrown in. Emery grabs it out of the ruck, but he's tackled. Gets a hand pass away on to Mark Gocius. Sends a big barrel long to the half-forward flank, but sitting under it is Tom Quinn for the Lions and takes the mark. Comes inside, finds Josh Walsh. Cross field to Zach Burhop. Hand pass over the top to Jack Sussay. He can go straight down the middle of the ground. Kicks this one low, looking for Dan Foley. Spoiled there by Emery. Picked up by Thomas. Gathered by Wiedemann. He kicks wide, looking for Smith. Under this is Burhop, and the ball goes over the sideline.
Throw in right in front of the Bulldogs box. They're still loving what they're seeing.
Ball thrown in, Foley of front position, taps it back to Matt Hamlin. Ball's at his feet, he's caught one high, he'll get the free kick. Chips one short, looking for Tom Anderson. Finds him in the centre of the ground. Kicks one further afield to Sam Martin. One bloke's to come at him. Looks for Jake Fairman. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Jake Taylor. Sends this one high in defence, but Amory's there. And it's forced over the sideline.
So it'll be a throw in right up against the point post at the northern end of the ground. And the sponsor there is GrainCorp. They've got those delivery sites at Coolaman and Grongrong. Madong also.
Ball thrown in. Emery's been good in this last quarter, and it's gathered by Jake Taylor there, and he's been caught the ball. It's a ball up. Bernulis taps that down to Proctor. Can't get his kick away. Players diving in on top of the ball. Umpire's called for another ball up. Thrown up. Bernulis tries to grab it out of the ruck. Tui Park opponents wrapped up in a good tackle there by Jake Fairman. Another ball up. This ball's not going anywhere. Emery front position, tapped down by Bernulis. Ball spills free there, gathered by Jake Taylor. He's caught with the ball there. The umpire's called for another ball up. Edging closer towards the Lions' goal. Bernulis taps that down. Jake Fairman tries to gather, but it's forced over the sideline.
Well, the Lions have got three things against them. The scoreboard, the clock, and their own skill level.
Umpire throws it in. Bernulis taps that back. Gathered by Matt Hamlin. Gets a hand pass over the top to Bernulis. He can have a snap on goal, and it's a behind.
The Lions 3-8-26. The Bulldogs 7-5-47 with 12 minutes gone. So we wait for the ball to be retrieved from the northern end of the ground. Sponsors there are Alum Harris McDonald and Elders Wagga Wagga.
Morton brings us in, goes long towards the shed box, but there's been a push in the back to Dan Foley. He chips this one forward, but it's cut off by Cunningham. He's been very good for the Turvey Park Bulldogs there today. Chip short, looking for Wiedemann. They've opened it up there. He takes possession, goes wide to Stapleton. Just content to control the ball here. Kicks this one down the line. Sitting under this is Dan Foley. Spoiled by Ashcroft. Grabbed by Fellows. Gathered by Higgins. Back to Burhop. Intercepts. Goes inside. Finds Matt Hamlin. Goes across ground looking for Jake Taylor. Puts him under pressure as gathered by Glanville there. Emery tries to control it, but it's cut off by Matt Hamlin to Jack Sussay. Go wide now, looking for Lucas Hattie. Takes a good mark. Kicks it forward, finds Dan Foley. Goes long with this one, looking for Benulis. Coming out to meet it. The ball's on the ground there. Cut off by break gain. He can run into a goal, and it's hit the post.
Well, that's that just a little bit of step up pressure, difference in the pressure from the 17s, Andrew, to the first grade.
Yes, he was under pressure there by Cunningham, but just struck the post. As Morton looks to bring this one back in.
The scoreboard tells you that the Lions have been under pressure the whole day.
Morton dodges around one, sends this one high and long, up high as McRae. He can't hold the mark. Ball's on the ground there, gathered by Ashcroft. Gets one forward to Wiedemann. He can chip one forward looking for Emery, and it's marked in front of Quinn there. They just back themselves. Emery pushed forward there even from that kick in, and now resulting in Turvey Park having a shot on goal.
So he's on about a 45-degree angle. He'll kick to the Waterview Street goal, and he'll have to kick from every bit of 40. Virtually no breeze, and Baz is right behind it. Brilliant sunny winter's afternoon. As we watch this, and it's a goal to the Bulldogs.
Nail in the coffin.
Yeah, that's it's beyond the Lions now. The Lions 3-9-27, the Bulldogs 8-5-53. And I'd suggest, Andrew, the Riverina Football League competition is wide open.
Yes. A number of teams there in the top 5, big chances, which is good for football.
That's it.
Dan Foley taps that down to Matt Hamlin. He's tackled. Ball spills free. Comes on to Higgins. Goes wide, looking for Wiedemann. He's probably been the best man on the ground today. Chip one over the shop, looking for Walter. Oh, smothered there by Lucas Hattie. Walter goes to reclaim it. Gets a hand pass back to Wiedemann. Sends this one high. Sitting under this Dan Foley and Tom Quinn. The ball's on the ground there. Coming through as forward. He's tackled. Throws that one away. Play on, says the umpire. As Higgins has a shot on goal. Ball bounces through from behind.
Lions 3-9-27, Bulldogs 8-6-54 with 17 minutes gone now.
Burhop brings it in, finds Nate Hamlin. Hand pass back to Burhop. Takes the one bounce. Charges out of the fence. Kicks his forward looking for Josh Walsh. Goes through his hands. Morton kicks this one forward, but sitting under it is Burhop for the Lions. Hand passes one over the top to Taylor. On to Dan Foley. Charging through the centre of the ground. There is Jake Pham, and he sends this high. Under it is Brave Gain. The ball bounces over the back. Ball's kicked forward, and it's marked there by Emery, I think it is. Young Emery. He kicks wide. The ball's on the ground there, coming through for Turvey Park, and it's held up. Race for the ball there by Jackson Conley. Gets a hand pass forward. It's gathered by Mazzocchi. Kicks this one forward. Looking for Stapleton. He marks there at half back. Kicks this one high. Sitting under it is Ford and Quinn. Spoiled by Quinn, but deemed to be held was Ford, front position, and he'll have a shot on goal.
Bulldogs player was always in the best position there to win that free kick. I know it's hard for a backman to do everything legally, but the kick was there, fair and square. He'll kick from 40 metres, 45-degree angle. He's on the eastern side of the ground, southern end. This will be a great finisher for the Bulldogs.
Umpire hasn't moved.
That's it.
It's 3 goals for Ford. Been a great pickup for the Turvey Park Bulldogs late in the season.
The Lions are 3-9-27. The Bulldogs are 9-6-60. So it's a comprehensive win to the Bulldogs here at the Gammain Sports Ground. They've humbled the Lions here in the last home game of the year. And they've been on top all day. It's not just a one-quarter show.
Emery taps that down to Aaron Proctor. He can't get his kick away. The ball's on the ground there. Players pile in, and it'll be a ball up. Ball thrown up. Dan Foley grabs it out of the ruck, kicks this one forward. Morton takes the mark. Been good for the Bulldogs back there. He looks forward, finds Mazzocchi. Chips one over the top. Finds Stapleton. Sends one long, looking for Higgins there, and it's a good mark by Walsh, but the ball's built free. Higgins picks it up on the boundary, has a flying shot at goal, and it's through from behind. Burhop brings this in. Goes long up the centre of the ground looking for Jake Pham. He gets a good bounce. Gets his hand pass away to Jackson Conley. Kicks forward, finds Jake Taylor. Sends this low looking for Benulis. He's marked. 30 metres out on a tight angle.
That's the best passage of play we've seen from the Lions, and they've left it to the last 2 minutes. Perhaps the Bulldogs have eased up a bit too, Andrew, I say.
Yeah, put the cue in the rack.
Benulis comes in, difficult angle. Umpire hits the post. The ball hits the post. The umpire didn't hit the post. The Lions have hit the post a number of times today.
Yep.
But that's all about pressure. Doubt, pressure. All those things creep into your mindset.
Ball's been brought in by Morton. Mark to Doyle. Chips forward and finds Wiedemann.
It's been a great display by the Bulldogs back six.
Kicks this long down the line. Sitting under this is Mazzocchi and Ashcroft. McKegg almost takes the mark.
Throw in right in front of the awning here, below the commentary position. Sting's gone out of it now as the shadows lengthen.
Emery wins the ruck. Down to Tom Anderson. Kicks one forward. Race for the ball here from McRae and Burhop. Burhop gets the better bounce. Tries to pick this one up. Ducks under one. Breaks one. Kicks this forward, but it's cut off again by Wiedemann. He's been everywhere. Kicks this one wide, looking for Mazzocchi. Kicks this one high, sitting under it is Dan Foley, and he marks. Sends this one forward, but leaping high was Bernulis. Tries to claim the mark, gets a hand pass out. And a good tackle there on Cunningham by Jake Fairman as the siren goes to end the misery for the Lions.
The Bulldogs have tamed the Lions here at the Gammain Sports Ground in the last home game for the Lions, with 2 home and away games left before the finals. So it's the Lions 3-10-28, the Bulldogs 9-7-61. And all credit to the Bulldogs. From the opening bounce, the Bulldogs really stamped their authority on the game today. They bamboozled the Lions. They played a bit of a short possession game in the first quarter. Lions didn't know what to make of that. The only thing that saved them, the Bulldogs didn't put it on the board, but after that they put it on the board, Andrew.
Yeah, no, it was a good display here by the Bulldogs today. They really came with a plan and they executed it well.
Yes, their back six were terrific all day. Along with they had lots of support around the ground, obviously. So that leaves Sam Martin with a lot of work and a lot of thinking to do with the Lions for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so
well, Lions will travel to Wagga Tigers next week on Saturday, so they've only got a 6-day break, and they'll come up against Wagga Tigers at Robertson Oval.
But that win might give other clubs a lot of impetus, Andrew. That, the Lions are certainly not unbeatable. We knew that before today, but I'd suggest the Riverina football, those top 4 sides in the league, it's wide open.
Yes, any side on their day.
That's right. Any side going ahead from now on, if they're on top of their injuries and their game plan. There's a premiership there on offering, I'd suggest. So with that, we thank it's obviously the last broadcast game because we don't broadcast when we're away. Once again, we thank Baz Leffler for making himself available to do this job, to do the camera work and the streaming, and then he puts it up on the YouTube through the week to look at the edited version. And he's been able to, over the last couple of years, he's taught Tammy a lot of skills so she can help him with the preparation of the video and the camera work. And thanks very much for our commentator, Andrew Corbett. No doubt we would, as locals, we would have loved to have seen the Lions come home with a win today. That wasn't to be, so all credit to the Bulldogs here for their display today, Andrew.
Yeah, no, they had a good victory, and it's been a pleasure to be here with you for the year. And thanks once again to Baz and Tammy and to you, Guy.
Yeah, well, already Baz is talking about what he can do different next year. I don't know how he can do it any better, but he'll tell me something about it, but that's all good. Okay, we'll sign off. We'll have a drink. Best of luck to everybody going forward into the finals.
See you again.